There have been some bright spots of improvement since 2019 when we last updated the list, but overall there's been limited progress. In 20 of the high-risk areas, the ratings substantially are not changed from they were in 2019, and in 5 areas, they've actually regressed. Senator Portman referenced one. There are others. And I'm not satisfied with the progress that's been achieved, and I don't believe that Congress should be either. I think there's a lot of room for improvement here. Now, on the positive side, the 7 areas did improve. One to the point of removal from the list. That's the DoD support infrastructure. So they actually reduced office space, warehouse space. They were able to get rid of some properties. Senator Portman, they were big part of the government's efforts that we're able to receive progress in that area. And they've reduced their leasing costs, and they've struck deals with local governments now to provide support services that have reduced their costs. And we felt they were in good shape. They've also promised to implement all our recommendations if Congress ever authorizes another base closure round. So I was very pleased with that. And DOD in particular has made some very good progress over the past couple of years. Now, we are adding 2 areas. Senator Portman, you referenced the one, which is on federal efforts to prevent, respond to, and recover from drug misuse. From 2002 to 2019, 800,000 Americans lost their lives to drug overdose. And the May 19 to May 20 period is the highest recorded annual increase, according to preliminary data from CDC, of 80,000 people on an annual basis. We need greater national leadership, coordination, not only among federal agencies, but with state and local partners and partners in the private sector, in the healthcare industry, and in the law enforcement community as well. This is a multifaceted issue. We've got 67 open recommendations yet. They need to be fulfilled. In the other area we've added is the emergency loan programs created for SBA, the Paycheck Protection Program, and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Programs. Now, these programs have been very important components of helping small businesses. So I don't want to take anything away from the positive impact that they've had, but they are far short of transparency and accountability goals. We made recommendations back in June, a few months after they had gotten started, recognizing they needed to get the money out, but they needed to have oversight plans to protect program integrity, to protect against fraud. There have been fraud in the programs. Their financial auditors could not give an opinion on SBA's financial statements this past year because they couldn't support documentation for loan balances and the fact that they had flagged a lot of ineligible potential recipients and not had good controls in place, both at their level or with the financial intermediaries that they hired to provide the loans. So this area needs continued a lot of attention in order to take care of it. Now, there are several existing high-risk areas that I think are worthy of additional focus by the Congress. First is cybersecurity to protect our nation, both among federal agencies as well as critical infrastructure protection. Now, I first designated this as a high-risk area across the entire federal government in 1997. So I've been trying to get Congress's attention, the agency's attention on this area. Unfortunately, the government's still not operating at a pace commensurate with the evolving and serious threats that are continuing to emerge. So we have many recommendations in that area, and I'm happy to elaborate on those further. I'm also concerned about the state of the federal workforce. 22 of the high-risk areas are on the list because of skill gaps and critical shortages of both the numbers of people and the type of skills that they need. And I don't think the federal government's workforce is well postured to meet 21st century challenges. So that's in need of attention as well. Limiting the federal government's exposure by better managing climate risk is another area that needs considerable attention. Focusing in on the government's growing environmental liabilities is another. Senator Portman referenced the Postal Service travails and financial issues, and their business model needs attention. And these are among the areas. Importantly, I want to emphasize that only 12 of the areas, 36 on the list, have demonstrated the leadership needed that we look for to begin the process of coming off the list. So the areas that we have taken off the list in the past have all had essential ingredients: top agency leadership support from OMB, which has been lacking recently, and also support from the Congress and leadership. When those three ingredients are present, that is the prescription for success here in dealing successfully with these high-risk areas and achieving what we all want, is to get them off the list, to save billions of dollars, provide better services to the public and public safety and other matters, and to help build confidence in our government. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm happy to answer questions.